nobody's here yet, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. On the highway, riding back towards Montgomery to get my mom. I'm in the process of moving, and it's kind of difficult to move and watch your son, a 5-year-old, at the same time. But anyway, guys, I want to come on here and talk about something that I find really intriguing. Sorry about that. I'm on the highway, so it might go in and out. But Scottie Pippen just dropped his little tell-all book. And in his tell-all book, Scottie Pippen is basically dragging Michael Jordan just about on every page. Now, yes, I'm a Michael Jordan fan. So some of you guys might be like, well, of course you're going to see it that way because you're a Michael Jordan fan. And that's not really the crux of this video. The crux of this video is why I see why Larsa Pippen cheated. Let me tell you something, man. And this is the problem we have with sports. And I think sports are a great way for young men to really kind of measure themselves. It's a rite of passage, you know, football, basketball. What's up, Ricky? What's up, man? On the highway, just going to get moms, man. But this is a plot twist from a man. Check this out. Check this out, though. So, all right. So, look, man. I played basketball, right? Basketball really builds character. In fact, guys, what's up, Queen? In fact, guys, if you started basketball and you weren't that good and you weren't just naturally talented, that's actually one of the best things for somebody, because the guys that are naturally talented and gifted, it really can ruin people, right? Because what happens is with sports, people kiss people's ass, right? And then all of a sudden they run into something in life where shit doesn't go their way and they don't know how to handle it. I've watched this play out as a basketball player with just about every basketball player I know that could put a ball in a hole that halfway had any talent. Life usually doesn't end up good for them. And I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of times they measure their manhood on how well they put a basketball in a hole. As much as I wanted to be a basketball player, and I wish God had made me 6'8", 6'9", I was 6'1", 6'2", I was athletic, I was good enough to get there, I was good enough to be a role player, but I was never a star. I'll tell the truth. I was never a star basketball player. I was pretty good, and on the right team, I would have been a star, but I wasn't. Hey, I don't care. I'm in my 40s now. I can care less about that shit. But the point I'm trying to make is this. People, you know, in life, you know, Scottie Pippen all his life got praised for being one of the, in fact, top 50. Now he's top 75. One of the greatest players to ever play the game. And I'll still go with that. I think he's probably the greatest role player we've seen. Like, I mean, as far as a role player. I mean, I think people are like, no, he wasn't a role player. He was a second option. Go look at his points. The guy barely averaged over 20 points a game. Even when Mike was gone, he averaged like 23. He was not, and if you look at the fourth quarter of the year in 1994, when they say, well, they won 55 games without Michael Jordan, go look at the playoff run. The first 2 games in the playoffs, the team hit like some nice points in the fourth quarter. After that, that team averaged 12, 11, 9 points a game. It was ridiculous. That team could not score in the clutch. Scottie Pippen is kind of like LeBron James, except I will give LeBron James more props as far as a better basketball player, but he's kind of like a front runner, will score in the transition of a game, great transition, slow the ball down, and hey, Scottie, give me 30. Go, you know, you couldn't depend on him night in, night out. Right? Now, let's say this. I'm not here to diminish Scottie Pippen. What I'm here to say is, as a man, this is really a lesson on manhood. Because Scottie Pippen, after 30 motherfucking years, is bitching about Michael Jordan. Now, this is the thing. I've not seen Mike come out one time and drag this man. Now, if we played ball 30 motherfucking years ago, it ain't shit you need to be saying about me, because I ain't saying shit about you. Michael gave his opinion. in a damn show, in a thing that really, at the end of the day, you can see Scotty, Michael Jordan was like, hey man, you know, he should be paid more. Mike said it, but Scotty said, hey, I needed to secure my future. Scotty, you did get other contracts. He's bitter about that. Scotty, you made bad investments. You lost your money. You had an opportunity, you made bad choices. Live with that shit, man. That's what you gotta go. That's what you gotta do. You gotta live with your decisions. I think it's the most feminine shit to see a man bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining, and dragging the team and dragging motherfuckers from 30 years ago, leaving out facts about shit. That dude is conveniently leaving out shit. I'm like, dude, I'm a Michael Jordan fan. That game where Bobby Hansen hit the 3 in 1992, he trying to say that they won that game for Michael Jordan. I'm like, no, Mike went in the fourth quarter, last 8 minutes, and ran off 12 points, bro. What are you talking about? Like it's like everything Mike did, he wants to diminish it, which makes you look like a fucking hater. Shut the fuck up. You really just hurting your reputation. Now, my thing is with Larsa, I blame Larsa. I was like, damn, man, she wrong. She want to be out here chasing the Kardashians. She this, she that. And I was shitting on Larsa. But let me say this. One thing, I'm going to tell you something about a man, about being a man. When a woman sees that you weak, they're not going to respect you. Even after you get married, after you've been whatever. When a woman see you as a man, right? You Scottie Pippen, Hall of Famer, 6-time champion, first ballot Hall of Famer. And you, instead of you saying, well, let me get out here and use my celebrity, my fame, my reputation, and monetize that shit and use it, because every nigga in this damn chat watching this video would probably say, man, shit, I would love to trade places with Scottie Pippen. Shit, he rich. I mean, you know, even if Scottie Pippen's not super wealthy, Scottie Pippen has a name and a reputation. When he speaks, people listen. You could monetize that into at least a head coaching something, right? But what does he do? Every couple of years, he takes it out on Michael Jordan and says some shit. Mike never responds. And so my thing is like, man, look, we got to stop making excuses for weak ass niggas. Because my thing is, I'm thinking, bro, you weak as hell. You up here dragging this man for some shit from 30 years ago over a documentary that they begged him to do. He didn't even want to do that shit. Then you trying to lie to him. Everybody knew Mike didn't want to do that documentary. Mike don't even get in those. If Mike wanted to really make people think he was the greatest, it's 50 million stats and reasons Mike could say he the greatest of all time. He like, you going around doing a tour. Now, this is what I'm saying. And I know you're like, well, man, you just a fan of Michael Jordan. This ain't about Mike. I'll be the first to tell you, Mike was an asshole. I'm still a Michael Jordan fan. I think Mike the greatest basketball player of all time. He was an asshole. So was the dude at Carver High School. He was an asshole. Omar. And shout out to my homeboy. He know who I'm talking about. Omar, that played with us, the point guard. He was an asshole. Pee Wee. Dude played with me in junior high. Asshole. Michael Ian, I ain't gonna say his whole name. Asshole. Straight asshole. Just about every guy I know that could put a ball in a hole is a bitch. I'm just telling you. Brian from the other school, the rivalry school, was an asshole. I can count on one hand the dudes I knew that played basketball that had talent and were good and were nice people. I can count on one hand. I'm sure if you went to Central Arkansas and you was a role player and you played on the team with Scottie Pippen at Central Arkansas, you would have thought, man, I remember Scotty said da-da-da-da-da, Scotty's an asshole. I've rarely met a good basketball player. It's just that Michael Jordan was so good that he could do that shit in the NBA at a level we hadn't seen, you know, before. And so a lot of people's feelings are hurt about that shit. I remember some shit. Let me tell you what happened. We won the city championship. I rode the bench, right? 8th grade. We won the city, right? Montgomery, right? We going up there to cut the nets down, right? The dude I named Michael, that nigga, when they was cutting the nets down, dude gave me the scissors. I'm going up there to cut the bitch down. This nigga gonna say, bitch, he ain't even getting the game. Why you getting up there to cut it before me? And people laughed. Now, I remember that shit. And he's a bitch for that shit. I mean, I don't give a fuck. Fuck him. I don't care. But at that point, That was some fucked up shit to say to somebody that showed their ass up to practice every motherfucking day. And then played and show. I was at every game, every practice, just like you. Fuck you mean ain't getting, man, kiss my ass. You know, but, you know, I was a kid, you know. And shit, it was a lot of politics and shit behind it. He from Hunter Station, which was a neighborhood with a bunch of Crips and shit. So it was a whole different dynamic back then, right? But what I'm saying is this. Most basketball players that I know have been assholes. Michael Jordan is no different. Neither is LeBron James. Neither is Dwayne Wade. Neither is any basketball player I know that was good. Usually, the best basketball players I know that wind up being cool, probably a big man. A big man, that's probably gonna be the cool. But if it's a guard, oh, he's an asshole. You better believe that shit. Now you might catch a center or a guard. I mean a center or like a power forward, and they nice, they cool, they friendly. That's usually who you gonna catch. But the closer you get to point guard, the shooting guard, and the small forward, them three positions, asshole, asshole, asshole. If they can play, they asshole. Scottie Pippen's no different. See what I'm saying? So, I mean, my thing is at the end of the day, it's almost like he's going around on this damn tour of just trying to drag people all the time. I just, you know, and I'm a basketball player, so I can say that shit because I played, but I actually turned out to be pretty good. I, you know, played in Brazil. I was okay. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't no damn killer, but I was okay. Right? But my thing is, I tell the truth. I don't give a fuck. I ain't touched the ball in years. I don't give a shit about basketball no more. I don't care. I focus on money right now. So that's what my heart is at right now. I don't really care about basketball like that. But, you know, for my son, obviously. But other than that, I don't care. I don't even watch that shit no more. But Scottie Pippen, I see why his woman cheated on him. A woman is not going to respect a man that's making excuses, that's bitching, begging for another grown ass. You a grown ass man begging another grown man to help you. What woman gonna respect a man like that? That's why she cheated on him. Cause he's weak. Yeah, you a crybaby. Like shit, man. When you shut the fuck up, why you bitching all the time? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're like, why you bitching? Why you complaining about this man? Like, well, he didn't give me this, and he didn't do this for me, and he didn't do that for me. Well, okay, well, he didn't do it. You think I care about a man not giving me some money and he a billionaire? If I played ball with him and I'm a Hall of Famer, I'm one of the 50 great. Think about that shit, guys. You know how much cachet comes with being Scottie Pippen? You mean to tell me you can't monetize that shit? Let me tell you what it is. He's probably a spoiled bitch. And the thing is, he probably has money, but to him it ain't enough. And he's probably like a female. He bad with money, makes bad decisions. Michael Jordan was rich enough, able to, because Mike was on a bad contract to Mike ain't really get paid until his last 2 years. His last 2 years when Mike got paid. Mike ain't get paid. So I'm like, damn, what you talking about? Mike was on bad contracts too to them last couple of years. Like, what are you talking about? Then you left. You went to Houston. The nigga went to Houston and was bitching. Started talking about Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley took a fucking pay cut to get his ass on the team. Y'all, a lot of y'all young, y'all don't remember that shit. Charles Barkley took a pay cut to get Scottie Pippen on the team, man. Scottie cannot score at will. Rudy Tomjanovich, who was the coach at the time, said we couldn't draw plays up for Scottie because he could not get on. He couldn't get his shot off. You just couldn't. You couldn't rely on him. He didn't have a consistent jump shot. Facts. He goes to Portland, averaging. I mean, come on, man. Like, I'm not trying to shit on the man. You one of the greatest. I'm not gonna say he's not one of the greatest for his role, for what he did. He's the greatest probably role player. But he was a role player, man. You don't want to hear that shit. You were a role player. Dennis Rodman, Hall of Famer, role player. I love Dennis. You couldn't depend on Dennis to put you on his back and carry you with 40 points. That wasn't Dennis. That wasn't his mentality. That wasn't even what he came out there to do. He came out there to dominate the boards. He did it like no other. Scottie Pippen, good defender. I would, but yeah, I ain't gonna go there. He's a good defender. I'm gonna give him. He was a good defender. I'm not gonna take that from him. But let's stop with putting this man like. And a lot of the LeBron apologists are like, See, this proves it. Scottie Pippen. When you can't take shit Scottie said, look, man. Women, like I said, the name of the video is right. Why Larsa Pippen cheated. Number one, if you a man, say what you mean and mean what you say. Say the shit with your chest. You ain't played ball with Michael Jordan since 1998, right? If Michael Jordan is the GOAT, and you said Michael Jordan was the GOAT, all up until when did he say Mike was GOAT? Thanks for team. I appreciate it. I can't read. I'm trying to drive. It's raining. I gotta be careful with it. I can't do everything. Sorry, I can't read y'all comments right now. But won a couple of championships, Mike to GOAT. All of a sudden, Mike asked Mike for some money. Mike didn't give it to you. Then next thing you know, the last year when LeBron was in Miami, LeBron, look at his stats. He's doing more than Michael Jordan. Look at his size and strength. I was like, okay, he mad about some money. They had the All-Star game in Charlotte. He hung out with Mike when he saw him, smiling in his face and shit, right? Then they asked him again. He said, man, I'm going to go with Mike all the time. Mike, right? Now he going back again. I'm like, what the fuck, man? It ain't like LeBron playing better than he did in 2013. That's his best year ever. So if he was the GOAT after that, he should still be the GOAT. So why are you saying he's the GOAT now? Well, it's like inconsistency. You don't have a code. You're not, look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Scottie Pippen is a beta. And guys, this is what I'm talking about. Beta men, a lot of times they don't have a code. You'll let a motherfucker, one day you got a code, next day you don't. One day you this, next day you that. Be consistent. Be consistent. He is not consistent. He chooses to jump around, and one day he say this. He jump around and say this and say that, and this is, look here, man, be consistent. And my thing is, at the end of the day, Michael Jordan is consistent. Ain't said shit. He did the shit. White folks begged him to do the damn Last Dance. He said, all right, bet, I'll do it. He told the truth. But that's like me right now. If I hate the dude that told me, hey man, you can't get up there and cut the net, how your ass gonna get in the game? If I would have held that shit, guys, that shit happened in 1990. That's when that shit happened. That shit happened February of 1990. Like, let that sink in, right? So if I was to come out today with a tell-all about when I played at Carver High School in Montgomery, and I'll say, and name that nigga and say, that bitch ass nigga, he da-da-da-da-da-da, this, that, I felt this, and I'm like, man, and then if I was to tell some statistics or try to tell a story and leave out the truth, tell the truth even when it's not flattering. I can't respect a man that comes out, remixes history, and then leaves out all the statistics like, yeah, man, Bobby Hansen came over from Sacramento and he hit that shot, and that's why we won, and that's why we beat Portland. And you forget that Michael Jordan came and hit 12 points in the last 8 minutes and won and pretty much put the game away and iced it at the free throw? You forget that shit? Right? And then you're going to go out. This is how I know you weak. You're going to say some shit like, yeah, man, I think what's the name is racist. I think Phil Jackson's racist, and that's why he didn't let me take the last shot. He gave it to Tony Kukoc. Right? Then you go in the book. Now, you can look this shit up. In the book, he says, I know a few months I said that he was racist, but sorry about that, guys. On this damn highway, man. Y'all know how that shit go. I lost about 20 y'all. But like I said, man, the thing is, guys, I've been on this earth for a minute, man. If you're gonna say somebody's racist, keep that shit, man. Keep that same energy. If you felt like Phil Jackson's racist, then say it. But for you to turn around and say he racist in an interview with Dan Patrick, then jump into a book where I didn't really think he was racist, I was wrong for saying that, then come back and say, well, and told the New York Times, well, I said it. Well, I mean, I don't take it back. Like, well, they like, well, shit, in the book you said this. He didn't even realize he said that shit in his book. Did he even write the motherfucker? That's the problem I have. Like, be consistent. And what's really sad is you pushing, shit, you over 50 years old now. Ain't no pushing, you over 50. Like, this just goes to show you people don't always mature with time. Time doesn't always mature people. Certain people, like, you got motherfuckers that, well, look, listen to me now. If you bad with money at 28, you bad with money at 38, and you bad with money at 58, that means you didn't grow, right? If you're out here constantly getting into debt, and the more money you make, you're buying bigger shit. You're not getting your damn spending habits under control. You're not attacking your debt, trying to, clear up your monthly bills and your monthly expenditures and shit like that. Then you're not growing financially. You're not learning in life, right? You're not. You're making the same stupid ass choices, right? And your credit will reflect it. You know what I'm saying? If you're not paying your bills on time, you're making bad choices. You're irresponsible. You got people that do that shit to the day they die. They don't figure that shit out ever because they don't want to do that self-reflection. Scottie Pippen, and this is just part of manhood. I'm not trying to say this like I'm the man's man, but I just think that if you're gonna be a man, if you are a man, you should be able to look at yourself and be honest. Like I can look at myself and be honest as a basketball player, right? You don't hear me talking shit like, yeah, I was the shit. I was this. I mean, you can, but I mean, in a way, I probably could say that in a way, but I don't talk shit. You don't hear me talking a lot of shit because I was humble, because I know, like, yeah, I probably kill the average guy talking shit. I probably light his ass up now. I'm 40-some years old. I go on the court right now and probably give niggas buckets. But I don't talk shit. You know why? Because any real basketball player should get the best of me. Anybody that really know how to play, I know what my weaknesses are. I know what they are. I know what because it's my game, and I know. And I'm being honest with myself. That's why, and I don't give a shit no more. You know what I'm saying? When you start getting, like, you look at Scottie Pippen, a woman does not respect a man that doesn't stand on his square, that isn't who he is, like he doesn't have integrity. One day you this, the next day you that. If he doing that with Michael Jordan, what type of bitch ass shit you think he was pulling with his woman? Like, think about that for a second. If you mad at your homeboy because he got billions of dollars and he ain't gonna just write you out a check, Michael Jordan ain't gonna write your ass out a check. You talking about the same guy that sat in the gym for hours and hours and hours and relentlessly worked his body to, I mean, they say Michael Jordan to get on a treadmill and run full speed damn near for like an hour. And they say that's why he always had enough to beat. He just was that much, he worked that much harder. So this dude is a billionaire because he, in his mind, Michael Jordan's mind, he's an athlete. He like, I'm where I am in life because I bust my ass. I'm where I am in life because I worked hard, right? And so Mike sees it like that. And you got this dude who had the frame like Scottie Pippen did, had all the physical attributes, right? You still one of the greatest to ever do it. You still could, like, Scottie Pippen right now could show up somewhere, sign autographs, and probably he just sign a couple of basketballs and sell them. And Scottie Pippen probably walk away with a couple of $100,000. Easy. Put that shit out and sell it. Sign basketballs, sign jerseys. That's you, Scottie Pippen. Like, you can sign anything that you want and sell that motherfucking. People will pay hundreds of thousands. Like, shit. You can find one of your rookie cards and sign your rookie card. Say, man, I signed my rookie card, man. My rookie card is this. Sign that bitch and sell it. Put it on eBay. Sign it and say, you meet Scottie Pippen. He'll take a picture with you when you buy it. $100,000. You'll never be broke. You Scottie Pippen. Why are you worrying about Michael Jordan not cutting your ass a check? Why are you in this position? It's part of being a man, and especially in your 50s, you gotta say, that's a lot of fucking money. Let me tell you something. When I was broke, I felt, man, look here, I was broke, bro. When the housing bubble broke, I did the comedy club, the shit didn't work. You know how bad I felt because of the bad choices I made. I could have easily said, fuck all these niggas that I gave money to. They ran me raggedy. No, I made those choices. I did the shit I did. I went and took the flights. I went and bought the shit I did, bought the drinks, tricked off, did the dumb shit I did, fucking with the strippers. I did. I acted a fool, right? And I sit there and say, you know what? That was me. That was my choice. I chose to do that. I was stupid. I made bad decisions. And it burned me up on the inside because I knew how much money I went through my fingers. When I started counting it, I was like, shit, man. Damn, had I done this, had I done that, I would be set right now. I wouldn't be struggling out here making $9 an hour working at the airline, working for United, what is it? I used to work for United Airways. U.S. Airways. I used to work for U.S. Airways. Man, I hated that. I was so depressed and shit. But you know what? As I sit back and look at that shit now, basically, all of that was my fault because I made bad choices with my money. Scottie Pippen made bad choices with his money. He trusted the wrong people. And just like you have to take the time to learn how to dribble, learn how to shoot, learn how to play defense, learn how to do the things you got to do as a basketball player, you got to learn how to do the things you got to do in investing and in business. Just because you're a basketball player, and this is why I said sports sometimes fucks a lot of athletes, because they think that shit just supposed to go their way because they so-and-so. I'm supposed to be this. I'm supposed to be good at whatever I touch because I'm a basketball player. No, motherfucker, you 6'7", 6'8", you got a 40-inch vertical, you got this, you got that, but it doesn't mean that when you walk in this business realm, that little short 5'5" Mexican won't make an ass out of you. It doesn't mean that when you come in this business realm, that dude that got cut or that dude that rode the bench and wasn't as good as you won't run circles around your dumb ass, right? And so you have to understand that shit. And I think Scottie Pippen, most of this is based on money. He wants the accolades. He wants people to say, well, Scottie Pippen, because it ain't gonna lie, a lot of people done shitted on Scottie and said a lot of disrespectful shit about Scottie Pippen. And I think that's what it is. And he gets mad. And he says, man, people give Michael Jordan too much credit. I was on the team, da-da-da-da-da, whoop-de-whoop, right? Until you go on to basketballreference.com and you see these statistics at what he actually averaged. Even when Mike left, you saw what he did. You saw what happened in the playoffs. You saw what happened when he went to Houston. You saw what happened when he went to Portland. And you saw what happened when the second year after they traded Horace Grant, that team dropped to within damn near struggling to make the playoffs before Michael Jordan came back. That team, he wanted to get traded. He was miserable because he could not get it done. And he got upset when Phil Jackson decided to draw up a play for Tony Kukoc because he was a better shooter than Scottie Pippen. Even though he was streaky, he wasn't consistent. That's the real truth. That's why, listen to me, y'all think I'm playing? Go look at the interview with Isaiah Thomas when Isaiah Thomas talked about, look, man, if Larry Bird want to say something, fine. Magic want to say something, fine. Michael Jordan, fine. But Scottie Pippen? And everybody's like, why is Scottie Pippen? What does he mean by that? Isaiah, if you know Isaiah's story, Isaiah was a naturally gifted. I'm talking about from his childhood. He was a prodigy. One of the greatest basketball players we've ever seen. Underrated, right? Isaiah Thomas was freakishly good. His last playoff game, the dude ran off 19 points in the fourth quarter by himself. Scored 19 in a row. Okay? That's Isaiah Thomas. All right? One of the greatest all time. Right? It can be in people's top 10 easily. Like, yeah, he only got 2 championships, but don't you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, come on. Honestly, I could probably say Isaiah Thomas the greatest point guard we've ever seen. Because most of what you say about Magic is size and height and being able to run a team. He was a great. I'm not saying Magic wasn't great, but you get what I'm saying. You can make a case that Isaiah's the greatest, right? As far as the point guard. For Isaiah to say that is the same reason, y'all gonna disagree with this. It is the exact same reason Kyrie Irving does not respect LeBron James. Because a guy that is that skilled will look at a guy's talents and see the deficiencies and see that he can't do this. He can't do that. You can't put him in this type of situation. A guy with real basketball knowledge, right? You could put Steph Curry in there. I ain't gonna argue with you about that. But still, if Isaiah's the number 3, just let that sink in for a second. That means he's one of the greatest to ever play the game and probably could be in the top 10, right? So I know y'all say I'm wild, and I know, look, man, and a lot of black men, y'all love LeBron, but LeBron has deficiencies, offensive deficiencies, okay? LeBron James fills up a stat sheet. He's figured out how to fill up a stat sheet, just like James Harden. And you guys put him on the category, oh my God, he's the greatest. Did you see the stats? And I'm like, okay, I see the stats, but at the end of the day, did you watch the game? Did you watch like the finals in 2020 when he sat up there and tried his best to get finals MVP, right? By stat padding against a bunch of second team players on the Miami Heat. Like, did you see that? Right? You see him stat padding, getting his stats. When they were disqualified, how he was out there stat pad. That shit has to count. When he retires, that shit is supposed to count against you. But it won't, because in this generation, all people got to do now is go look at basketballreference.com, and now they're an authority. Well, you can say Kareem is the GOAT, and I'm not going to argue with you on that. If that's what you feel, that's what you feel. You can say that. I can make a case he's not, but okay, fine, whatever. I'm not even going to argue with that, because he does have a case. I'm not going to shit on Kareem like that. He does have a case, right? So that's arguable. I think Kobe should be in the conversation too. But people are, well, no. I would put Kobe over Magic easy. But that's another video. That's another conversation. Because I don't want to get into a basketball argument or whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is this. The reason Isaiah Thomas does not respect Scottie Pippen is because he looked at his game and he saw the basketball deficiencies in his talent. Great defender, great athlete, but he's not on the same category as a Larry Bird. Who, prime Larry Bird before injury, shit. Yeah, you might be young. A lot of people, man, Larry Bird wouldn't do shit in this league. Shit, they ain't even playing no defense. Man, put Bird in this league right now. Bird was a motherfucker. I couldn't stand him, but I'm telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? So, well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, you can't say tougher teams and tougher defenses when they removed hand checking in 2005, and they removed hand checking. So, and actually the defense, they wanted to score more points. If you go back into the 90s and you look at it, those teams was playing a whole game getting 85 points and winning. Go look at the finals and what those teams averaged. Look at the physicality. Fine, a lot of y'all are young and still got milk on your breath. Can't even argue this shit. Y'all weren't there. Anybody that want to make a case for LeBron, I don't want to talk to you. I don't. Y'all watching the media, like what you're witnessing with LeBron is weakness, cowardice. You're witnessing a guy who has basically hijacked the media and has put his friends and cronies in high places to basically proselytize people to believe he is the GOAT, proselytize people to get him top 5 talent. If let's say that guy in Minnesota right now, that guy Edwards, whatever his name, that guy there, motherfucker. That guy there, everything that they thought Zion Williamson was gonna be, that motherfucker back around. He don't be playing. He'll respect your ass. He'll come at you, boy. Love him. Love that nigga, right? Now that dude, if he fuck around this year and become like a top 3 player in the league, when it come time, listen to me now, when it come time for the trade deadline, right before the All-Star break, watch the media try their best to get him on the Lakers and get Russell Westbrook out in Minnesota. Any top 5 talent that is in the NBA, they are going to try to give them to LeBron James. And then they're going to say LeBron James is the best ever. When LeBron James retires, he will have played with at least 10, mark them, at least 10 top 75 players. My name ain't Sub-Zero. At least 10. That's something to say right there. But people still going to call the man the GOAT. I don't have no problem with it. I don't even care no more. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? If Mike ain't arguing, why the hell am I going to argue about it? If Michael Jordan ain't out here arguing that shit, why am I going to get emotional about it? I'm worried about my money in my pockets, right? Raising my son, doing what I got to do, right? But back to the video and what I was trying to say. The point I'm trying to make is I think Scottie Pippen is a coward. I think Scottie Pippen refuses to face his own demons, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that, we really have a lot of issues with Scottie Pippen. Is just an example, or should I say a microcosm, of a lot of black men out here that don't want to look at themselves. He wants to point the finger at everybody. Let me tell you something, man. A mark of maturity is accepting responsibility, not the blame. Because in every situation, you may not have to take the blame, right? But accepting responsibility. He's not accepting responsibility. You mad at a grown man because he ain't giving you no fucking money? Yeah, Future did Scottie dirty, but his woman don't respect his ass Because you a grown man begging another grown man for some money and getting mad when he don't give it to you. That's what women do. Come on, talk to me, brothers. Y'all, we done all dated, women, not just black women, but women, period. A woman feels like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm riding the Rolls way. But look, a woman will sit out there and be like, look, I sucked you, I did this, I did that, and you didn't this, and you didn't that, and da-da-da-da, and I asked you to give me this, and a woman I can see, like my woman want me to do shit, I take care of her. That's my woman. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with that. But I don't expect that shit from a man. Like when I was a kid, my dad used to ask me all the time. He used to be like, look, if my sister, like if I really wanted something, I call my sister, hey, call dad and ask him, ask dad, da-da-da-da-da, because he ain't going to get it to me. My sister call him, he reach it in his pocket. All right, he'll give it to her. Me, it's hit or miss. I might get stuff sometime. Sometime I'm gonna get that lecture. Well, son, you gonna be a grown ass man one day, son. You gonna have to take care of family. You gonna have to do this. You gonna have to do that. And I can't just give you everything you asked for, son. That ain't. Now a lot of times dad just didn't want to give me the money, right? I knew it. Like you just don't, dad. I understand that, but you just don't want to give it to me, right? When I got older, I would just tell him that because I couldn't say that as a kid. I'd have got my ass whooped, right? But as I got older, I was like, nah, dad, I hear you. But you just saying that because you don't want to give me the money, right? He would laugh sometimes. Like, no, son, I'm telling you the truth. I'm like, whatever. And at the end of the day, a grown man really upset with another grown man because he didn't give him something. It's just the epitome of weakness. And until Scottie Pippen actually owns, because you got to think about it. He mad about accolades. Bro, you one of the 75 greatest, top 50 greatest, actually. They had him in the top 50 list. You in the top 50 list of greatest players to ever touch a basketball on the face of the planet. And you taking that shit. And not only that, you ain't number 75 now. You beating out a lot of dudes that would have shitted on your ass. I mean, if I just have to tell the truth, right? Like, he's probably beating out Dirk Nowitzki, right? Now, y'all can look this shit up. He beating out Dirk, right? Listen to me. Scottie Pippen went to Germany with Barkley back in like 2000, well, actually before then. It was like 1996, right? Y'all can look this shit up. Dirk was like 15 years old. He ran into Dirk Nowitzki at 15. Scottie, look, Charles Barkley told a story. Barkley was like, man, look here. He said, man, that damn dude was shitting on Scottie bad. Now, Dirk ain't win but one championship. Dirk's probably not ranked even in the top, not above Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen got 6 championships, right? Scottie might be in the top 25. I have to go look it up. Get what I'm saying? But Scottie in no way could hold Dirk Nowitzki at 15 years old. He said, man, they was like, who is this kid? He said when he got drafted, he wasn't surprised. He said, because I was overseas and saw him destroy Scottie Pippen, and he was like first team all defense in the NBA and got his ass handed to him by a 15-year-old, right? But that's the point I'm trying to make. Scottie Pippen, you have respect. He has everything that, anybody on this planet would get. But that's what basketball does. And that's why I think basketball and sports ruins a lot of black men, right? Like, you got so many dudes right now. Like, a lot of y'all ain't probably played, so y'all don't know this shit. Look, man, I know dudes right now. I'm in Montgomery right now. If I pull up at a gas station and I see a nigga that was a star player in 1988. Listen to me now. And he was the star. He was the man. He was the shit. He signed early, went to school, broke his leg, came back, and he wound up not being at that D1 school, or he, some shit happened. That nigga gonna look at me like, oh, that's that man. That nigga ain't shit. I remember him back in 1980. He wasn't shit. He rode the bench. Like that type of shit. Like this is Montgomery. And it ruins you because if in life you have this level of confidence, a lot of times, guys, not having confidence is good. Because what happens is it forces you to work on your flaws. It forces you to fix some shit, right? If you know, man, I need work. Guys, it wasn't enough for me to go to a gym and put up, 500-600 shots a day. I would run suicides in the like on my own, not cause some coach told me to. I ran them bitches on my own. I would time myself and run my own fucking suicides. I would do drill. I would dribble basketballs for hours. I would work on moves. I would imagine, okay, what if a man's here? What if this? What? That's how I thought. I really immersed my mind in basketball, right? Because I was not good. But if I grab the ball in the 7th grade, I'm already 6'5" in the 7th grade. I can palm the bitch. I'm dunking in the 5th grade. 7th grade, I'm getting letters from Auburn, Alabama, Mississippi State. I'm averaging 30 points in the 7th grade, right? I don't have to work hard. I don't have to do shit. Everybody, the drug dealers, everybody giving me shit. This is a typical black basketball player. The drug dealers buying me shoes, right? Everybody kissing my ass. If I say something, everybody laughing. I'm getting all the baddest girls in school, right? Because I'm on the team. But let alone if you're on the team and you hitting 30, oh, you're going to get the dimes, bro. Real talk, right? I'm having sex in the 7th grade with girls that's in the 12th grade, right? This is the type of shit that actually went on where I'm from, right? That type of shit, right? I go to high school, same old same, right? I'm ranked. I got everything going for me in high school, right? I go to college, and everything go good for me. But then I go to the NBA Combine, and I get my ass handed to me. Because although I averaged 15 points, 20 points in college, I wasn't playing no defense. Or I was a 6'2" shooting guard that, went to the NBA, went to this camp, and I wasn't a point guard. I was a shooting guard. I was a scorer. I wasn't really a pure. That dude is now warped mentally because now, and I'm talking about squandered it. When they were in college, they didn't go to class, right? They took some little weak ass major because they thought they were going to the NBA. It was just like in the program. Remember the program when the dude could barely fucking read or some shit, but he was like eligible, and then they put his ass on that film, and that dude knew everybody's position. The dude that got his leg messed up, he knew everybody's position. He's like, kill a quarterback. This, that. Like, he needs to be here. This guy needs to. Like, I seen that shit, man. That's real. And that is the average black basketball player or football player. They turn around and they say, well, this is what life is about, man. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is, man. This is basketball. And then that shit get taken away from you. And they don't know how to cope. They don't know how to mature. They don't know how to deal with life's difficulties, right? And so they resort to little shit. Oh, you see these niggas like, I'm talking about, listen to me. I know niggas that play ball. Like, there's a dude, I'm not going to say his name, but he from Birmingham, won a national title. I ain't going to say with who, right? And was a hell of a ball player, okay? Could play. Still could play till his 40s. He probably still can play to this day, right? Dude is riding, was playing overseas, making like $12,000 for like a 4 or 5 month season. Come back struggling and bragging about a championship he won and how he was a role player. He came out the bench. He was pretty good. Now he wasn't no little, he ride the bench. He really was a dog, man. But still, this nigga in Birmingham would be talking all that shit and how he this and how he that. And I'm like, man, look, you'd have been better served saying fuck basketball, taking your ass to medical school and becoming a doctor. Because right now you probably making $400,000 a year. Who had the better life, right? Because I play ball with a guy that played ball with us at Lanier, right? He's a doctor. He's Indian. His name is Sanj, right? He was a lamper. And lamp was like for all the smart kids when I was in school, right? So this guy was in lamp, got cut, but he really could play. I remember that shit. He always could play. He was a point guard. He could pass. Like he don't have to look at you. This motherfucker like he had eyes in the back of his head. Could dribble and will go through the lane and he'll be doing spin moves and shit, be jumping in the air, spinning the ball and just throw that bitch and it'll come right to your chest. That like he could play, right? But he looked weird because he was Indian and it just didn't look, but he could play though, right? Anyway, I remember him at Lanier. He got cut. Next thing I know, we in the gym playing and he was like, yeah, man, what's up? I remember you. You were the guy. Yeah, I remember you. You were this, you were that. We started talking. His ass is a doctor. He went to Johns Hopkins, okay, for medical school. So just let that sink in. That means he's one of the best doctors in the fucking country. He lives in Montgomery, Alabama. He told me one time he made $450,000. That's what he told me, right? Because I was actually thinking about going to medical school one time. And so why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because the guys that on the team that made it, who had the better life? Life is a marathon, not a sprint, right? And basketball players are like sprinters. They sprint out early. Good basketball players. They sprint and then shit happens. A lot of times, that's why you see these guys, they never graduate. And then they go back to these colleges and universities. They try to get jobs. Some of them are capable of getting jobs. Some of them have no real workable talents, skills. They can't communicate. They don't know how to have a actual conversation with someone and speak intelligently. Like I'm being real. Like a lot of basketball players and football players cannot sit and look an adult in the face and have an intelligent conversation a lot of times. If it's not about basketball or football or some shit, they never really had been challenged to actually learn and how to grow and be in anybody. Scottie Pippen strikes me as that guy. He just so happened to play with the greatest of all time. So he benefited from that and is still benefiting to this day. And he lacks the ability because, guys, and there's something called emotional EQ, which is emotional quotient or emotional intelligence, basically. If he had the EQ and knew how to communicate, had the people skills, he would monetize that shit and make himself wealthy, right? Like some people are undeniably, like you can look at him and say, this dude was going to be successful. I don't give a fuck what he did. Now you can look at Will Smith and tell, although it's a bunch of shit on him. I found all types of articles, bro. Like this, it's so many videos I can make on that family. Like on Jada, his kids, and on him. Oh my God. Like they up there talking about they do mushrooms and shit. I'm like, wait a minute, wait. You and your mom doing mushrooms? And y'all, like, the mom is encouraging her son to take mushrooms. I'm like, that's like snorting coke or some shit. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who does that? Right? But that's what they're doing. Right? What I'm trying to make is, but you can look at Will Smith, regardless of all that shit I'm saying, this dude was gonna be successful. Denzel Washington was gonna be successful. You could tell. Kobe Bryant. Kobe could have broke his leg. Kobe was gonna be successful as fuck. You could tell. Kobe probably was gonna be, Kobe would have been, he was like one step away from being a billionaire. He just probably would have turned one after with this deal, right? That deal that just took place last week, that his wife is about to get like $500 million for like a $12 million investment with some smart water, whatever some shit he invested in, right? And I think Coke is by, he would have got like 800 million or some shit like that. But the thing is, well, I don't think they unequally you. I think Will Smith is a beta. That's the problem. So he a beta, she's the alpha. So that's just that. He's a weak ass man. That's gifted, talented, was gonna be successful in whatever he did, but morally, he lacked. When I say morally, I mean character-wise, he didn't have the principles. Because there's no fucking way I'm gonna meet a woman and she tell me she want to be out here getting her back blowed out by other men, but she want to still be with me, and I accept that shit. What would be on marriage? Will, you shouldn't have been married. You should have just fucked and did what you wanted to do. When you got a divorce, you should have did what you wanted. Jada runs that house. Not, he hasn't divorced her ass. See what I'm saying? Same scenario. It's Scottie Pippen, but on the right behind why. Scottie Pippen just lacks the integrity. Integrity. Star Trek, whenever a ship get hit, right, in Star Trek, what do they say? Structural integrity at 50%. Our shields are down. Once the shields go down, they get hit. The ship's integrity's down. That means that what the ship was has been lowered or altered because of the fate, the photon missiles or whatever that hit them, right? And the point I'm trying to make is when it comes to Scottie Pippen, integrity is, look, man, I'm gonna take what I have and use it. Somebody there to bail his ass out. You can't always bail people out. And you can see it in this shit. Let me tell you something. When you do that shit with people they'll fuck you up because you think they're doing you a favor by kissing your ass. But as time goes on, you'll slowly begin to realize, damn, this is costing me. because it's not allowing me to deal with my inner demons and the things that I need to get over to get my life. If I don't fix these problems that I have, I will always be in this situation. You beg Michael Jordan to give you some money. What if Mike give you $5 million? You'll be right back where you are because you don't have any integrity. You don't have, you get what I'm saying? The foundation is not strong. And so when you say some shit like that, and I'm gonna tell you how I know the foundation ain't strong. If you're gonna sit up here and say that Phil Jackson is racist on live television because he drew up a play for Tony, and Tony had the hot hand that day, and you said I'm the star, fuck that, ain't going in the game. Then you blame that shit on racism 30 years later, right? And then you go back on it in the book. Then when you talk to the New York Times, you refuse to, like, you go back and say to man, you trying to maintain these races again. Like, what the fuck? That's literally the definition of integrity. The ship's integrity has been compromised. That's just the way it worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, and look, this is a classic example. Look, man, listen, let me say this, man. As a man, we all struggle with all types of shit. And sometimes having integrity means you're gonna have to actually, it's gonna cost you. It might cost you a relationship, it might cost you money, it might cost you all types of, it might cost you shame, because people might look at you and be ashamed of something that you did, or make you feel ashamed for something that you actually did. If you did some underhanded shit, and you have to have integrity and own up to it, right? Try to own up for your actions. All we can control, like in the serenity prayer, is what we can control. Otherwise, we need to know how to accept what we can't, and wisdom to know the difference. You cannot control anything. You have no definitive proof that man was racist. You in all these years saying all these good things about this man, and then you when it's cool, when the climate changes, and realizing that right now racism and social justice and all that shit and Colin Kaepernick is a big deal, I'm gonna say Phil is racist. He's white. He really can't defend himself. That's a weak ass move, bro. That's weak. And that's it, Ray Gunn. A man has a code. Are you gonna live by that code? And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I go back on my word on shit I said, oh man, I shouldn't have did this. I shouldn't have did it. And it fuck with you. I'm gonna keep this shit a buck. What y'all think I'm gonna get up here and act like I'm Mr. Got It All Together? That ain't me. Y'all know sub, man. I ain't perfect. I ain't got shit perfect. And I ain't gonna say I ain't perfect. I want to be greater. I want to be better than what I am. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like, I'm not gonna come in this space in YouTube and act like how everybody try to act like they Mr. Master Player. I fucked all the hoes. I got all the money. I'm making millions of dollars. I got a 10-inch dick. I'm this, I'm that. I'm the smartest, most high IQ motherfucker in here. No, fuck all that. You want to get that shit, go to somewhere else in the manosphere. I'm going to tell your ass the truth. I'm a flawed individual. Just like, so it's easy for me to make this video and drag Scottie Pippen. I'm not really dragging him because he's still one of my favorite players all time. He still is. Right? He was the consummate team player. He was the consummate role player. He was. Right? And on certain nights, he could get you buckets. On certain nights, he could. Right? But that being said, I'm also going to call stuff down the middle. And when I call it down the middle, Scottie Pippen needs to be held accountable for his words. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You being funny about that Democrat. Black lady started a coding program for Harlem kids. No black people wanted to pay $50 a month? Damn. Phil Def not racist. He been cool with brothers since he helped the Knicks win they only rings. Yep. So like I said, I mean, I'm at a point, I just feel like, you know, manhood and shit like that needs to be pointed out. And if I can point it out, I will. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we point it out enough. I think you have to be able to step back from that situation. He's not stepping back and saying, man, why am I dragging Mike? Because I watched that damn Last Dance. I'm like, Mike ain't shit on you. Mike said he thought it was selfish that you waited till right at the beginning of the season and gonna do a surgery when you knew the team needed you. It was selfish, but you was trying to get back at management over your contract. You didn't play the January. But fuck it. Y'all won championships. Mike was first team all defense at 35 years old that year. Mike did what he had to do, they won. Mike shot more threes. That's when you look at his 3-point average, it actually went way up back then. That's when he started shooting threes, when he got older, his last 2 years. See what I'm saying? But I don't like people that ain't loyal, man. And to me, if you my nigga from 20 years ago, just on the general strength of us being boys, I got people I done fell out with. They don't even know if they know I got a channel. I got dudes that I fell out with, and we used to be tight as hell. It's always room in my heart for them because we grew up together. We was boys from like day one. We not as close as we used to be. But I'm going to always have, and I tell them niggas like, man, you know, you still my nigga, man. You still, I'm like that. Like me, man, as a man, like sometimes, I'm going to be straight up with you. I ain't going to say I won't get into it with people because I will. But I try to, you know, like the Bible says, if at all possible, make every effort to live at peace with all men. Like I try to live in peace with brothers. Like when I got into it with Gabe, I apologized instantly, tried to extend an olive branch. He going to send me a text to lose my number and shit like that. Fuck it. You know, it is what it is. Right? Great, give me a Gabe talk once every year or so. We might have did a what do you call it, hangout? A hangout on what's the name channel? O'Shea channel, right? Hall of Game, right? So it's cool. I ain't had nothing. Me and him ain't really engaged like this. I really didn't give a fuck. But at the end of the day, I tried to live at peace with the brother. But you know, I'm not gonna like right now. Me and Gabe, like I got into it. A good example, Kevin Samuels, right? Me and him had our little whatever run in years ago, right? Kevin Samuels blows up. I'm getting constant video or comments under my video, motherfuckers dragging me because now they've discovered Kevin Samuels. And so that video constantly, I'm getting insulted in that video. It ain't never, every other day I'm getting a video of somebody view it. You bitch ass nigga, you jealous of him, you a hater. Like, damn, motherfucker, did you watch the video? Did you watch it? Like I had receipts. Like he went live. Showed what really happened. It showed the emails and everything, and you still gonna say, I'm like, damn, I ain't say I don't ever want to be a fashion consultant. That wasn't even at the time because that's what he was trying to do. But people don't know that shit. They don't look at the date of the video. They just said I was jealous of the man, right? Nothing I can do. I hate being called jealous. You know what I'm saying? Because if I had it, I would probably have to look in my heart. Am I really, I don't think I'm jealous of no fucking body. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. They stay cussing me out about that dude. Like these dudes be on some real gay shit. Like for real. Like I'm sorry, y'all niggas is gay. Like Riley, nigga, you gay. Like like Riley, man. Like Riley Freeman. Like y'all niggas is tripping. Man, you jealous. You want to be him. You just don't like the fact that he goes at your gynocracy. And like, man, stay your bitch ass, man. Bashing video. Get the fuck off my channel, stupid ass nigga. So I get attacked every day about that shit. But guess what? I let that shit go. I ain't mad at Kevin Samuels no more. I let it go. I made a couple of response videos to them weak ass fans. But now I don't even do that shit. When I see somebody talking about if I see it's the Kevin Samuels video, I just slide that shit to the side. I don't even read it. I could tell within the first coming bitch ass nigga. I see that, I just turn to the left. Like, oh, that's a Kevin Samuels video. I mean, you'd be surprised how many people came in. I delete a lot of them. I go in there once in a while, try to read them. I delete a lot of them. After a while, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just leaving. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. But like I said, guys, I enjoyed this video. I'm about to go. I want to give y'all some content. My computer is in boxes. Everything I got right now is in boxes. I got to go home, unpack that shit. I got to go ahead and get my mama, bring her back. It is 9:12. So really it's 8:12 because I'm in Montgomery now. But by the time I get her and get back tonight, it'll be about 1 o'clock. So I'm not even gonna worry about it, man. I'll probably go live tomorrow, but I'm gonna do the next couple of videos with my phone because I really don't have my computer set up right now. So only little music I can give y'all. Give y'all a little Gelled Albright, you know what I'm saying? Give y'all a little, what's this? This is what I'm on right now. I love watercolors, man. Oh, boy, I can listen to this shit all day. What else they got? I don't really listen to XM like that because I'm always on YouTube, but if I'm driving somewhere and I don't feel like looking at my phone, I love this damn stuff here, man. I think it's a good investment. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I got a lot of good jazz on here. They even got the Real Jazz channel, which I rarely listen to this one. Y'all might know this guy. So, you know. Anyway, guys, I'm about to go, man. We're going to hit holler at Mom, give her a hug. We're going to hit this highway. Y'all have a good one. God bless y'all.